Hello YouTube, here we are back again today playing with some aftermarket exhausts for chainsaws. Mike, CPI, has been building some pipes for us. So these are kind of prototypes. We've been testing them, checking out RPM, checking out performance, what's going on, if they're working or not. Now, I've had a lot of questions about pipes. How he builds these is based on the bore, the stroke, and the timing of the saw. And he does his math. He's ingenious at this stuff. That's why he is the owner and does what he does. If you order one of these pipes, this is kind of how it's going to come. You'll get a pipe. This one's actually for a 660. But you'll get a manifold like this with springs. And then the pipe. This one's going to come with some mounting hardware. The 372 pipe is not. Now we still have like the stock heat shield and stuff in there, so it needs to be gasket, heat shield, gasket, manifold, and then you spring on the pipe, and then do your adjustments accordingly. Now we've had quite a few people that talk about spark arresters, if they're allowed, if they're not. That totally depends on you, where you're cutting at, who you're working with. If you're on private, if you're on Forest Service. Here in the state of Utah, they are allowed. Okay, I'm sorry. Spark arrestor, you have to have a spark arrestor if you are cutting on public lands here in Utah. So, let me see if I can open this up. This is just a Farmer Tech one. This is a stock 372. Now, if you notice, there's nothing in there. See, there's no screen at all. So this one is actually not allowed in the state of Utah or in Idaho, I know of, because there's no spark arrestor, no screen. So one thing that Mike has done, this pipe right back here, this cone part comes off. In here, he has spark arrestor, okay? So if you're in a state that needs, spark arrestor, put this on and you have a spark arrestor. Now, I spoke to the people at the Forest Service and they will allow this. So if I wanted to take this saw, this setup up and cut timber, up and cut logs, I am okay as long as I have this on and it's clamped on. Kind of a neat little design, put that on, clamp it down. Here we're going to run outside and show you what the performance is versus two aftermarket Chinese clone Husqvarna saws, 372 copies. Now this pipe will fit all of these models. It'll fit the Husqvarna, the 365. It'll also fit the 371 and the 372, 372 XP, XPW. Bad thing about the pipe, if you have a full wrap handle, if you're a full wrap guy, 3/4 wrap, this pipe will not work for you. Now, of course, the pipe's not ideal for all situations if you're cutting above your head and that kind of stuff. The performance is actually pretty sweet. We're really impressed with it, but it's not for everybody. We're kind of chainsaw gurus, as you can tell, and it's pretty sweet. So what we have here, this is just 100% stock, 25-inch bar. Chains are either new or sharpened on these. Good old factory of Lin Yu. You can tell, it's just all Chinese. So that's a stock one, 50 millimeter bore. This one here is a big bore. We've burned it up once, so we decided to put a big bore on it. These are both 25-inch. We're going to go outside and compare them here. So the one with the pipe has a big bore, 52 millimeter. We also did a base gasket delete, and I don't know if you've ever seen those cylinders, are pretty crude. So we cleaned it up a little bit. Didn't really do any porting. We just polished up, cleaned them up a little bit. So let's run outside and compare pipe versus no pipe. Okay guys, here we are outside. I think we found one we can cut. Yeah, we dabble a little bit in saws. We're by no means professionals. We just happen to have a logging semi here. We have 2 sawmills here on the premises, so we do quite a bit with this stuff. Okay, we're gonna try the stock one first. Right here, let's just see what these things can do. after you've ran one with a pipe, it's just hard to go back to stock. Let's try this one. She's cold, hasn't been warmed up yet today. Ooh, I think it's awesome. Just remember, this is going to be super hot, you know, typical pipe. To watch where you put it, don't touch it. Should be wearing gloves. I don't know, we don't have a timer or anything, but it's sweet. It's hard to run a stock saw after running something like that. Now, when you put the spark arrestor on it, it does get quieter. But anyway, guys, there's kind of a little debut of what that does. I know Mike is building some, and so we'll have some on the market. Email us, or might throw some on eBay or Amazon. Let us know if you're interested. Any more questions, feel free to ask. See you guys.